G'day legends, Atron here and welcome to the Archdemon Deflect run where we have a nice new server record score of 806 million. So before we get in guys, just a quick reminder, don't forget to click those links in the description when you buy stuff from Amazon. Throws love my way, but just from me simply directing traffic to the Amazon website. So it's a neat little way you can support the channel without actually directly contributing. But let's roll into this video now. Enough of that, and before we get into the actual video, what I'll do is I'll just run through all the heroes in depth. So we've got the normal stuff that I put in here, which will be available in a condensed picture format for everyone. So the big standout here is obviously TT, which we'll go and have a look at her traits, but they're fully all HP, and Pumpkin Juke using 5 Empower crests, so which is important because what it does is it what I think it does. I was trying to figure out the maths yesterday. I just know it does more damage. I think it throws the damage stacks between 5 and 6. It goes up and down slightly, so that's why it's potentially creating a damage, like a times damage, so a multiplier of 6 of PD damage, whereas normally on an 8 Zerk PD you're looking at 5 hits per second, so your damage cap is 5 times the damage, where Empower offers within the 8-second cycle, it flickers in between offering another damage stack, so like a times 6, if that makes sense. So if it doesn't, then there's something else going on, but that's why I think the score jumped almost 120 million difference from the second guy. Arctica, in the run that I'm going to do, he's actually skill 9, you will see that. No stress there though. I haven't done my second run yet, so I'll do that and see how it goes. Now, Mectessa is in 505 Bulwark, and we were having a debate recently about whether or not Deadly Strike crests are going to be more useful. So the second run will definitely have Deadly Strike crests in there, and that's pretty much the only thing I'm going to be changing. And Arctica's 10 of 10 skill, so I mean that's going to be minimal. But Skull Knight is running 5 of 5 Deadly Strike. So once we go into this, we're looking at the pets. That's the easiest way to have a look at everyone. So Crest, Deadly Strike, Artifacts, Axe. All I really want to do is show you the exact traits that I'm running. Really kind of pointless traits, to be honest. I should probably change most of those to damage if I was going to get anything useful out of SK. Alright, not been going able to go back is very frustrating there. But then the big standout is probably Trixie Treat, but 5 of 5... you still need Life Drain on the Dovekeeper, by the way, because she is tanking, and without Ghoul and without any other sources of heal besides the pets, she still needs to have the heals there. So equipment, the 4 of 5 Victory Lunge was a big help. I rolled that recently, and so that is a massive little bonus extra with the demon hitting. It offers probably at least 20 million plus in your score. So traits wise, full accuracy, nothing to do with Archdemon. Alright, who is the next person? What am I looking at? Trixie Treat. Trixie Treat, in the video you'll see, dips down in health. It is crazy. So this Trixie Treat is niche. It is so niche to this demon, which I am full. I was really lucky. I got 2 5 of 5s in one of the last rolls, I think, or I had a crit and I had to use like the 1900 gem roll to get rid of the crit because that was just not worth having it on there. So she has massive HP, 8 of 8 tenacity, 5 of 5 or 5 life drain crest set on her. Doing, it's pretty much the least amount of damage with the most upside, because she already has War God in there. And who we got left? Just the last 3 there. So PD, 8 of 8 life drain, Crest of Empower, Blitz is that, and he's also got mostly HP traits for this. Now with PD, because he doesn't have any extra stuff, I can probably re-roll a couple of those later and see like because how he survives in the crit resist demon and if it's necessary. So, but that's what he's looking at now. And Arctica was 9 in the video we're looking to look at. 5 of 5 tenacity crest, goblet, summon, HP, little bit of dodge, a few traits. So it looks like 4 traits were okay, and he was keeping alive just fine with the 8 of 8 life drain. So what I'll do is I'll try and chuck up a formula of how you can figure out your damage cap. And lastly, we've got Mech-Tessa. Again, I believe that Mech-Tessa and Skull Knight will probably be better off, and especially Dove Keeper will be better off using the new talent Brute Force, and probably changing their traits to either full crit damage or full just, I don't know, damage would probably work, but crit would get the most use out of Brute Force, which will average a higher DPS over the 3 minutes, in theory, anyway. So that's the heroes. So we'll get into the run right now. So this is the picture that will be available on the Facebook page, as I like to, put them all together. So these pictures and any other relevant pictures will be available. Noteworthy right here, Rudolph must go on your tank. It is only activated and heals once you are hit. So enemies not being hit or the enemy not taking is not going to do anything. Honorable mentions also go out to most of these top guys in the AD leaderboard. So especially I got my drop down pat from Red Rum from Fear, so thank you very much from that. And obviously Woon and all the other guys have been helping with ideas throughout it. It is a collective, what this score is a collective weeks of banter and drop drop talks, mechanics on this demon, what works, what doesn't. There's no reason trying to hide it. That's why I'm trying to upload at least this version and this section as quickly as possible today or tonight, where are you in the world. But if you want to go back, I didn't even pause it for this run because it is so simple on this drop, and I have to thank Red Rum for sharing his video with me and his drop tactic. It was simply lead with Dove. I don't know if you noticed, but lead with Dove and spam drop the rest of them. And the timing, this is a no Vite setup, so no 5 Vites on any of the heroes. Obviously you didn't see any, but like it won't work with Vites, it'll throw the sync out. Funnily enough, my Skull Knight did die and came back to life, so that's the luck of potentially having like Deadly Strike Crest. I know there's another bait going, if you don't get your drop synced to the perfect amount, running a DS Crest or a Deadly Strike Crest on Mech-Tessa and on Skull Knight is going to potentially be the reason that you one shot yourself without the proc. But in theory, if you get your drop right, it don't matter because they will always be under damage cap when you're doing it. So really simple drop, guys. Drop Dove and drop really quickly everyone else. You can go back and have a look at it. Normally I would slow my drops down and show you, this second, that second, but not this time. It was simply a spam drop. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to upload this video to now, whenever it gets to you, whenever you're viewing it. But I've also been working on, since last Archdemon, a comprehensive Archdemon guide of techniques and mechanics throughout pretty much the top leaderboard. So we've got runs from Wound Kill there. We've got runs from the Red Rum from Fear, Magicka's run, which is second at the moment, by the way, which is probably the most interesting thing. Quote me if I'm wrong. The way I read in one of our chats today was he was essentially using the same team as myself here, but he used Gunslinger instead of Trixie Treat, but his Gunslinger died like 10 seconds in, and he still ended up with 668 million. So, which makes sense if you're in power 5, Crest is offering that extra stack of damage. It's essentially like putting a Cupid in. So, which Amir from the Russian server used Cupid, and his score was 743 million. So, you know, I guess the extra 140 million is coming from Trixie Treat in comparison to, say, Magicka's run, where he's in second place, and he's only essentially running with 5 heroes for the entire run. So, interesting stuff, guys. So this is just to really show you the top score, what's going on. I really hope to get that comprehensive Archdemon guide out a little bit later, and we'll run with that. And I'll go through different techniques, like lesser techniques, how you can run with Golem, how you can run with Waller, how you can run with different ways, essentially. So to get might fit the best scenario for your heroes. So that's pretty much it, guys. Really simple technique drop. It definitely should be able to work for everyone. Not complicated. Really easy to run by. So I hope most of you can take that away and at least apply that to your heroes and to your runs to maybe get a few more. I think if you're going to best this score, someone, obviously Dovekeeper is not 12, there's still improvements to be made. I'm going to do a second run now, and we'll see how Deadly Strike Crest go on Mectessa and how skill 10 Arctica goes. So, but if you were going to best this score, my first theory would be to simply replicate my team, max out as many skills and, you know, as comparable, but be using that 8 of 8 tenacity gunslinger potentially. I'm not sure what other hero is going to be providing you with enough HP or enough survivability and DPS. So Copters and the Pumpkeys are definitely offering a lot of DPS there, which is really good. But that's my theory at the moment. I know the guy a long time ago from the iOS, the one everyone's probably talked or knows about it, but he scored like 800 million pre-Destiny, which was out of control. So 800 million pre-Destiny. I believe his team was the same as mine, but instead of Dovekeeper, he put in an 8 tenacity gunslinger. So think about that. You know, pre-Destiny, no skill 11s, none of that. It seems like Gunslinger might be worth a lot more than Trixie Treat. I know in normal DPS circumstances, definitely, but because we're looking at the Deflect and the Pumpkies die and the Copters die, you have to take, well, it's really hard to take it into account, but you have to take that into account and not put Gunslinger on that top tier DPS, essentially, as you would normally, like in Lava 4. Obviously Gunslinger is way above Trixie Treat, well, not way above, but just a substantial amount in comparison to all the other heroes. But anyway, well, I'll leave it for the comprehensive guide, guys. I will go into a lot of stuff a lot more in depth, but going to a wedding this weekend, so I really wanted to get this uploaded for everyone before I left, so that's why it is just the one run. So sorry to all the guys that have been helping me out throughout the last couple of weeks. So I do still appreciate all the work and chats and talks, mechanics discussed and shared throughout all players and servers. But I will still upload that so we can have a little bit more of a comprehensive understanding for a more universal team to go into this demon. So share your ideas, guys. Contact me online, Facebook, all that jazz. I'll be around, certainly. So this is where I would actually normally say goodbye, but as you can see, we've already 2 minutes into the second run I did. I went ahead and changed those crests on Mectessa, and I upgraded Arc skill. Really disappointing. It only gave me 10 more million, but again, that drop is down pat. It is fantastic. So spam drop, leading with Dove, no Vites. That's pretty much it, guys. So I changed both of those pictures. Will be available on the Facebook page. I will tweak them and essentially put the score next to them. And happy days. So 116 million seems to be the top score, which I just beat my previous one. Still room for improvement, but that will have a slight ceiling. So thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, this time, for real, I will see you in the next video.